Good morning, good day, fellow leaders. Thank you so much this morning once again for this opportunity to engage in our leadership talks. Today I want to speak to you about volunteerism and spiritual gifts. I believe that one of the main responsibility of any leader of a church is to raise volunteerism and also to help them discover their spiritual gifts. Sometimes when you look at this from a distance, you think it's a simple work to be done, but actually it's quite a challenging task to raise volunteers and also help them discover their spiritual gifts. But I believe that is very, very critical, is very, very important. And I want to urge you today, leaders, to really give that a priority, to raise volunteers for your vision and also to help them discover their spiritual gifts. Here's the thing, many, many years ago when I gave my life to the Lord Jesus and I started following Jesus Christ, one of the things that really grew me was serving in the church. And by then I knew nothing about discovering spiritual gifts. I was just serving. I was just all over there, serving, running cell groups, and that grew me as a Christian. And I believe that our people miss so much, when they are not serving in the church, when they don't know their gifts. And I want to encourage you today, as you raise volunteers, also make sure that you help them discover their spiritual gifts. Now, everybody needs to know their spiritual gifts. The Romans chapter 12, verse number 6 puts it very clear that everybody has been gifted according to the grace of God, and we should use those gifts. Everybody is gifted. Every person in your church is gifted. They are really gifted. It's just that they don't know, some of them, that they're gifted. They have never discovered their gifts, and they can with your help. You see, the foundation underneath the spiritual gifts is servanthood. And that's what you should put across to your people, that this is all about serving God, is all about serving other people. 1 Peter chapter 4 encourages us, verse 10, that we should serve one another, we should minister to one another with the gifts that God has given to us. And therefore, I want to encourage you, to make sure that as you raise volunteers, you also help them to discover their spiritual gifts. That is very, very important to do that. Discovering gifts will grow your people. It will make sure that your people grows. And they can never find out their perfect gifts until they start serving. They will never discover those gifts until they start serving. Over time, when they start serving, they'll start discovering their gifts. And actually, according to my experience, I realized that when a person starts to serve a number of functions within the church, 4 to 5 functions, then they'll start discovering their gifts. How are they gifted by God? And I want to encourage you, fellow leaders, let's push this agenda to make sure that we raise volunteers, but we also help them to discover their spiritual gifts. It takes time to discover spiritual gifts. Many, many years back, after I responded to the call of God to go to the theological training. When I was there, I actually thought that my number one gift is evangelism. I actually thought I'm an evangelist by calling. And as times goes, when I continue to serve God, I continue to participate in the work of God, I realized that is not my number one gift. But you see, it took serving, it took participation for me to realize activity in the work of God will help your people to realize their giftedness as soon as possible. And encourage them to keep pushing until they find out their number one gift. Because once they find their number one gift, what is important is that they will start to get energy. You see, every time you do something that you enjoy doing as a person, you get energy from it. And that's what will happen to your people. Once they discover their gift, especially that one gift that they enjoy doing the most, then there will be energy flowing through them, and they'll be so much excited about continually serving God. And also push them until they discover their second and their third gift. And I believe that when we raise volunteers and we help them discover their gifts, we'll achieve so much for local churches. So much will happen, so much will take place. And therefore, I want to encourage you, push your people to discover their spiritual gifts. Continue to raise volunteers in your church. Remember that most of us churches, we don't have money to pay full-time staff. And you need to raise as many volunteers as possible and help them to discover their gifts. Because when they start serving, that will enlarge. and grow the vision that God has given to you as a leader. Thank you for tuning in today. Remember that you can get my videos on my YouTube channel, which is Peter Tutubalang. My surname is spelled Tutubalang. You are more than welcome to share these videos with your friends so that they can be able to get better in their leadership. Thank you so much for tuning in, and God bless you.